How's it going, everybody? This is RBT coming at you with Friday Questions and Answers, episode 37. As always, if you're new to this series, just leave a question in the comment section below. It can be personal, sports related, anything, and you'll be featured in next week's episode. Every question is answered. So, without further ado, let's get started. There's a good bit of questions this week. Let's get started. Boston Celtics for 18th asks the Rams should sign Jamarcus Russell. He has a nice arm. Okay, yeah, I agree with you. They should. It'd be better than what they have right now, obviously. But I mean, Jamarcus Russell was a number one, first overall pick, so he has some talent, and that's better than what they have now. XX Black Mamba XX24XX asks, why does USC lick monkey testicles? Because it's just really because I believe that the depth has really hurt them because the loss of scholarships, and that's been a real big issue. They've got talent in there. I think Lane Kiffin was just a bad hire. They'll get somebody to turn it around because USC won't be down for too long. USC is a national power, and they'll be back sooner or later. Razorback fan 1995 asked, does it concern you that Nick Saban's wife was house searching in Texas? Not really. If from what I saw was correct, that was just complete speculation, and that wasn't true. But even if it was true, no, I would not be worried. And also, he says, do you think college football players will eventually get paid? Yes, I do. I think it's. I think some portion. I think the NCAA makes their money and takes some certain percentage of what they make and just equally distribute that throughout all of college football. That would be the perfect thing to do in my opinion, but yes, eventually they'll get paid. I think it's coming sooner rather than later. Jack Thal says, name your top 5 quarterbacks. I'm not sure if he means NFL or college. I'll just assume college. I will say 1. I'll put this in regards to strictly college playmaking ability. And this would be completely different from a top 5, which value the NFL type skill sets, which will cause them to go that way in the draft. So this is just strictly college related, nothing pertaining to NFL ability. 1, Johnny Manziel. 2, Marcus Mariota. 3, Teddy Bridgewater. 4, man, there's the 3 obvious ones, and 4 is kind of. Oh, freak, Jameis Winston. And 5, I would probably have to go, man, Bryce Petty. Alright, Carson Jacobs asked, do you think Miami will have a good game at FSU or hang in there? Yes, and it says also, or will they get blown out? I think they can hang in there. Miami's one of those teams that finds ways to win, and I think I said this in my college Week 8 prediction video. I think they're going to hang in there. Rivalry games like this is normally a tough game for both opponents. They fight to the very end. I expect this to be no different. Obviously I believe Florida State's going to win, but not by the 30 points that people are projecting. I think I gave Florida State a 10-point win. I think I said Florida State 34, Miami 24. But I think Miami's a good team. Good teams find ways to win. They don't always have to be what's the word? Have to be good looking in doing so, I guess you could say. I couldn't think of the exact word, but they find ways to win. That's all that matters. I think they'll be competitive, but I think Florida State and Jameis Winston will pull away at the late, and I'm winning by 10. Okay, so Mikey Ryan Terp says, if you got a job offer to write for a team's website that you don't like, would you do it? For example, what if Auburn gave you an offer to write for their website? Yeah, you don't necessarily have to be a fan of that team. That would probably be my last interest would be in Auburn. I don't know. There's some teams I would rather not write for, but I would do it. That's something I want to do, and if that's what gave me the opportunity to do so, I would. For example, the guy that's the main beat writer for the Boston Globe right now, he covered the Yankees 5 years ago. It isn't really. You don't have to be a fan of the team to write for them, but I would probably do it. Yeah. That's actually a really good question. Okay, Patrick Bama1234 says, do you think Florida State should be ahead of Oregon in the BCS standings? Not that the rankings really matter, also which team has more depth. This is really a unending question because you can go. It just depends what you value more, and I value resume more sometimes than big wins. And I think honestly, right now, I don't know who has the better resume. I think Oregon's beat more ranked teams, but Florida State has the better win. Who looks better? They both look really good. Uh, I think the better looking team right now is so hard to pick. They're so even. I think I'll go Florida State. Oregon's right there. I think eventually this will just one of these teams will lose and will cancel the other out. I don't think it's going to be an issue like I think same time last year, more teams were undefeated than they were now. In this point of the season a year ago. So I think it'll eventually work itself out like it always does. And then also which team has more depth? I think defensive depth Florida State, but offensive depth Oregon. All right. Next, why doesn't not 242 ask why doesn't Vince Young have a job in the NFL? Man, I don't know. When he played for the Titans, he did impress me. I really don't understand why Titans fans didn't like him. He made plays. I mean, yeah, he wasn't the best quarterback, but he was better. He was a lot better than our other options, and it was. I don't want to go back to those days. The offensive play after Vince Young was absolutely terrible, and I just don't understand. I remember one of my favorite Titans games thus far was that game against. I cannot remember who they're playing with. They went 99 yards in like a minute, and they. Gosh dang it! Somebody's calling me, please. If I don't answer my cell phone, I'm not going to answer the house phone. Okay, where was that? Oh, but the offense under Vince Young, I believe, was so much better than the offense under Kerry Collins. It was ridiculous, and I don't know where I'm going with it, but why does he not have an NFL job? I don't know. He makes plays. He has a good arm. I think some teams give him a shot. Maybe the Rams. Maybe the Packers. I'm not the Packers. What the frick? The Vikings. But nobody's willing to give him a shot. So I don't know. But I think he should have a job in the NFL, at least as a backup or a scout team player or something. Okay, next we have Brendan Kuehl says, "What do you think of Eddie Lacy's performance so far in the NFL? Out of Trent Richardson and Mark Ingram, he was the underrated and quiet one in Alabama and has outperformed both of them in my opinion." That's a sort of true statement. He's looked pretty good. The first couple games he started off slow, but yeah, he's gotten better over time. He's looking pretty impressive. I mean, you got to think about that though. Look at what teams that he's on. These three running backs are on. The Trent Richardson was on the Browns. Enough said there. He's getting a shot with the Colts. I know he's not looking so great, but give him some time. Mark Ingram, he's on a Saints team that throws the football 1,000 times a game, so he doesn't really get a shot either. But even when I understand when he's been given a shot, he's not been doing well. And Eddie Lacy is on the Green Bay Packers team that was missing just one area in their team, and that was the run game. And now he's playing great. Not saying that the other two would do just as good, but yes, I'm very impressed. And yeah, as of right now, I do think you gotta give him some more time to really evaluate this. But yes, I believe short term he has outperformed these other three so far this season. And he also says, up here in Minnesota, we need a QB. If Josh Freeman doesn't work out, now Teddy Bridgewater will be gone. But who do you think will help us more, Taj Boyd, Aaron Murray, or AJ McCarron? It depends. Minnesota is still winless, so if they go winless throughout the season, they could get the first pick, and they do. I think Teddy Bridgewater would be the first pick for them, obviously. Out of those three quarterbacks, I am not a fan whatsoever of Taj Boyd. I think he will not be an NFL starter by any means. Aaron Murray, I could see it. AJ, I could see it. So I'd say out of those three, not Taj Boyd. AJ or Aaron Murray would be a good fit in Minnesota. And I'm not sure if Mariota would be a good fit in Minnesota. I just don't think so. Nor would Johnny Manziel. But I also see a guy like Derek Carr going to Minnesota. A guy like David Fowles. There's a bunch of good quarterbacks in this year's draft that I think could end up being quality players down the road. And Big Vol Daddy says, if Tennessee beats Alabama this weekend, do you think I will A, die of a heart attack from overjoy, die of a heart attack from overexcitement, stroke out, lose my voice for good from yelling, or none of the above? This question was actually asked after the Alabama game, I believe, so I don't know. Wait. Okay, so he asked that on Friday. Okay, never mind. That's my fault. Do you think? I'm so confused right now. Okay, anyways, game already happened. But if I did have to answer this beforehand, I would say D. Lose your voice from yelling. I hope you would not die. I would not want to predict that you would die. So I'd just say D. Alright, Yo Giraffe says, if the worst team in the NFL, Jacksonville, and the best team in college, Alabama, face each other, who wins and what would the score be? I think I actually made a video on this a couple years ago, maybe last year. I mean, yeah, if you look at it right now, like if you look at it from one perspective, you would, without thinking about the other factors, you would think Alabama could face and be competitive, but no way in this world. I think Jacksonville. I mean, you think about it. Alabama, yeah, they're loaded. What do they have? 10 draft. I would say maybe 10 draft picks a year. Jacksonville has 52, and they're experienced. So Jacksonville, I think, would win easily. Alabama might would score one touchdown, and Jacksonville could score 50. I mean, that's just the difference between pros and college. Jackson Bear 1 says, do you think Auburn is a trap game for Alabama? What are your thoughts on my Tennessee Volunteers? No, we're always pumped up for the Iron Bowl. There's no way we'll let the Iron Bowl ruin our season and be a trap game. Yeah, Auburn can be competitive in the game, but if Alabama loses, it won't be any reason. It won't be because it's a trap game. And what are your thoughts on my Tennessee Volunteers? They're looking better. Yes, Alabama beat them last week down pretty hard, but they're getting better. They're looking very competitive. I mean, that's something you've not seen from the Tennessee program in the past couple seasons, and just to see that Butch Jones has brought back that competitiveness, that's really nice. And I think Tennessee, it's a project, but I think the last couple guys they've had has not been the right guy for the job, and that obviously worked out. But right now, something's different about Tennessee, and I think they're going to get it rolling. Might take a couple years this time, but give them some time. I think Butch Jones is the right man for the job. Daniel Perry says, what players do you think the Titans should pick up in the draft? I think Evans from A&M would be a nice addition. Yes, that would be a great addition, Mike Evans from A&M, because everybody can talk about the front seven all they want right now. The defense is performing pretty well, I believe. The defense is I believe, a lot better from a season ago. I think if there's one spot you really can fix on defense, it would be one of the linebacker spots. And obviously, you could draft a guy like C.J. Mosley. I've looked at a lot of the mock drafts, and that's what they have going to the Titans first round. So C.J. Mosley, I would love to have. Mike Evans, I would love to have. Those are two top guys I would love to have. They're probably going to be in the mid 10 to 20 range. But our offense is not clicking. We're not scoring enough points. And no matter how good our defense is, our offense is just underperforming. It's not like we're turning the ball over. It's just like we don't have the right mold of guys and the right talent to really mold together and be able to connect. It's not like we're making a lot of mistakes. It's not like nothing is absolutely terrible on the offense. We're just not clicking together. We don't have the talent level that we need. So a guy like Mike Evans would be great. Marquise Lee would be great. A lot of good wide receivers in this draft. Sammy Watkins maybe even, but I'd rather like a guy like Mike Evans. I think we should trade Kenny Britt maybe for a second-round pick, a third-round pick, if somebody would give one up. And we need another outside guy for that. Mike Evans, great size. He would be a great pickup. I really like that. All right, Not Mice Elf123 says, as of now, who do you think the Jaguars should take with the first pick in the 2014 NFL Draft? Without a doubt in my mind, Teddy Bridgewater. Didn't have to second guess myself. No questions asked. Teddy Bridgewater. He is the guy I believe that could help the Jaguars be competitive once again, because he's going to be a great quarterback in the NFL. All right, Anthony Blaylock. Anthony Blaylock asked 3 questions. Who is the worst team in the MAC this year? Is Northern Illinois or Fresno State the better non-BCS team? To answer that question, the worst team in the MAC, I believe, is Miami, Ohio, or Akron. I think Miami, Ohio. Yeah, Miami, Ohio. Is Northern Illinois or Fresno State the better non-BCS team? Man, it's just so tough. Both teams have great quarterbacks, but I think the reason I give the nod to Fresno State is they have they've beat two quality opponents, but then you go on the other side, Northern Illinois beat two quality opponents in Iowa and Purdue. Both teams have Jordan Lynch from Northern Illinois is absolutely amazing. Fresno State with Derek Carr is another great NFL prospect. But I think aside from those two guys, the better if you take those two guys off each team, I think you'd say Fresno State has the better talent around them. I really believe Northern Illinois might be a 6-win team without Jordan Lynch. But I would love to see both of these teams make a BCS bowl. I really hope it happens, and it very well could happen. But I think I would give the nod a little bit to Fresno State. Also, number 2 says he asked his second question: what do you think of the call at the end of the game? Call at the end of Game 3 of the World Series. Please don't be biased towards the Red Sox. I thought it was the right call. It was the right call in the rule book. I mean, if they ever changed it to a guy's intent, that I don't think it would be the call. But it doesn't matter if it was intent or not. He was in the way, and I think it was the right call. It didn't matter anyway. So the Red Sox won. And also, what is your favorite movie? Man, I hate it when people ask me this because I can never think. Maybe Moneyball. I like the Jeepers Creepers horror movies. Hope they come out with 3 soon. I even made a video about that like last year, and it's supposed to come out soon. It's already made, but it hasn't come out yet. It's been made for 2 years, and they haven't found a distributor yet. I like Fever Pitch with Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore in it. That's living the life through the 2004 baseball season. We Are Marshall is a great movie. But one of those 3 I would have to say is my favorite movie. Alright. He also says, I'm surprised Kid Cudi is your favorite artist, as you don't seem like that type of person. It's probably because of your country accent. Man, I might have a country accent for living down here, but I seriously am not. I'm not country one bit. I'll leave it at that. I'm not country one bit. Brennan Cool asks, what do you think of Minnesota Golden Gophers coming off a big win over Nebraska? What do you think the direction of the program is going? I think that was a big win. I mean, I'm not sure the direction the program's going because, I mean, it's kind of uncertain what's going to happen when Jerry Kill is going to come back. But, I mean, a win over Nebraska is a step in the right direction. They've been kind of down the last couple of seasons, but a win like this really signifies a step in the right direction. And I think, depending on the health of Jerry Kill, they have some nice young players there. Yes, they'll lose Rashid Hageman this year, but if they keep recruiting the way they are and they keep playing competitive in the Big Ten, they're going to have a season here soon that they're going to surprise some people and could challenge for the Big Ten title. They have the resources. They have the on-campus stadium now, but we'll just have to see. Our Mega UGA Dogs ask, name 3 NFL players that you can't stand. And also, do you want the Alabama Crimson Tide to play the Oregon Ducks or the Florida State Seminoles? 3 NFL players I can't stand. Pac-Man Jones. There's nobody I really dislike. Oh, I don't like Jay Cutler. That's true. Who else? Who else do I don't like? I'm not a big fan of Matt Schaub, but I don't really hate him. Man, I don't know. Maybe Mark Sanchez. I really don't know. Okay. And would I rather want Alabama to play Oregon Ducks or the Florida State Seminoles? I think Oregon for one of two reasons. I'm sick of all this Oregon hype, and so these Oregon fans want to play Alabama. So I want them to play Alabama, and hopefully we can show them what we do in Tuscaloosa and show how real football is played, and we can beat them by a good bit. And the other reason is I think we'd have a better chance against Oregon than we would Florida State. Florida State's looking very good right now, and I think we match up better against Oregon, obviously. And I think Jameis Winston really right now is. I wouldn't say he's a better playmaker than Marcus Mariota because I mean Mariota has legs, etc. But it just seems like Jameis Winston can't be stopped and he makes no mistakes. And that if that's the key to beating Alabama is having that great quarterback. Yes, Mariota's good, but I think in terms of beating a team like Alabama, I'd rather have Jameis Winston. So I'd rather play Oregon for that reason too. And I guess Mr. Matt 25981 asks, who do you think is a better team, Oregon or Florida State? That brings me, I think I answered this before. I really can't pick. It's so hard. I think I would give the nod just a little bit to Florida State, but both these teams are really good. But like I said before, I think eventually one is going to come out clear cut, and it can be either one of these guys or either one of these teams. So it's really hard to say right now. Chicks Dig the Stutter ask, what is your favorite NCAA football game of all time? 07 was really good. I'd probably say 08 because not necessarily was the best gameplay, but it really implemented the best feature ever created in the NCAA football game. Maybe one of the best sports games ever is the Online Dynasty, and that was really revolutionized the way people played the game, and it's an awesome feature, and I think that's really what got me into playing video games. And like I'd really never been a big video game player, but when I heard that you were able to play against other people in your own dynasty, that was awesome, and then I got hooked. So probably 08. But 14, I think, gameplay-wise, is the best. Okay, Mega UGA Dog says, you said that Auburn is the same team that had trouble beating MSU and the same team that lost LSU, so do you think Auburn will win Auburn will win if Alabama players think that way? When I said that, I mean, yes, they're better than what they were, but they're still the same players that played in that game, so they have the potential to have another game like that. Yes, they have got better, but yet they are still the same team. I'm not negating what they've done, but you just got to keep that in mind that they have played against these two teams and not played well against either of them. So you just gotta keep that in the back of your mind, but you still gotta understand that they are a better team than they were then. But they had the potential to play like they did. So I don't think there's any way Alabama thinks negatively. Well, and I don't think they're gonna think they're too good for Auburn. There's no way, especially with the national championship on the line, with this game probably being the most hyped it's been in a very long time. I don't think there's any way they'll think that way. Alright, Boston Celtics for 18th ask, why are you a Red Sox fan and an Alabama fan? Alright, the simpler of the two, Alabama fan. I was born in Alabama. I've lived here my whole life and just grew up with Alabama football, and I've been an Alabama football fan since I was in diapers. And why am I a Red Sox fan? This is more complicated. Baseball was really my first love in sports. I love baseball. I had a favorite player in Sammy Sosa, but I never had a favorite team. Like I was a ridiculous baseball fan when I was like, before I was even 10 years old. I knew every player, every stat. I could name out information just like that. I amazed people with how much I knew about baseball before I was even 10 years old, and that continued for forever. And I mean, it's still kind of there. But I was in love with the sport of baseball. It was what I lived and breathed every day. But I didn't have a favorite team really. I watched Sammy Sosa. I tend to like the team that he was on, but he was my favorite player. I watched every team he played on. I watched, but I just never had that favorite team. Okay, and then I was in elementary school. I can't remember what grade I was in, but my mom was a middle school teacher, and the two schools are right next to each other. So I'd have to wait on her every day after school in elementary school, and there was a teacher that taught with her, and he was a big Red Sox fan. He was actually from Boston, and he knew my love of baseball, and I think this was like 2002, 2003, and he just told me all about all these stories about growing up, skipping school, taking a train to watch the Red Sox play, coming back, and having to tell his principal how he skipped, and his principal let him go because he told him how the game went or something, or something along the lines of that. And it's all these different stories. He would always give me these amazing baseball cards. Gave me a Shoeless Joe Jackson card out of one of those tobacco packages back in like the early 19s, the 1910s, somewhere in there. Like he was like a really big part of my life. Like I really looked up to him. He was a great man, and he still is, even though I haven't seen him in years. But um, he just really got me hooked on the Red Sox. We started talking Red Sox baseball. I mean, I was 8 years old having these full detailed conversations about the Red Sox with a 56-year, maybe 70. I don't know. He's probably 60 then. A 60-year-old man, and he just got me completely hooked on the Red Sox, and that's where it started, and it's just grown from there. So that's why I'm a Red Sox and an Alabama fan. Razorback 1995 asked thoughts on the World Series. I'm so glad we won the World Series. I was more excited to go watch my World Series recap video after they won for my full thoughts about it. But to put it simple, I was more excited about this World Series win the last outlet I've been for an Alabama game in the national championship the last couple of years. It's just unique and so different. Winning the championship after being an underdog all season and preseason, it's amazing. It was awesome. And also, what is my thoughts on no more college football games? It sucks. Hopefully, in a couple of years, before them to bring back the series, I think it'll have to take college players finally getting paid by the NCAA, which I think will happen soon. And when that happens, one company, even if it's not EA, will jump on the series and make another game. But it sucks. I mean, a lot of people play it. It was a big part of my summer ritual, but it's not there anymore, and it's sad. It's really sad. But probably just for now, people would just update the rosters each year, and it might never come back. But I've had to predict maybe less than 5 years. 5 years tops, they'll have a game back. Because as soon as they start paying players, somebody's going to jump on it because it'll be legal now since they aren't being exposed. Because if they are open to being paid by the NCAA, they can be just like the NFL and be able to accept cash benefits from people like that. So they won't be exposed in the license. So that's that. Man, I've been talking for a while. What is this? 20 minutes? 27 minutes? Wow. Mega UGA Dogs also ask, if you say that Alabama sports teams aren't destined to choke in postseason, then why don't you choose them to win in your prediction videos? It's not because of that. It's just a coincidence, really. I mean, I don't think any team is destined to choke in the postseason, but I guess it's just really coincidence. All right, ex-Auburn. I have 3 more questions to go. 3 questions to go. Ex-Auburn says, you said that Auburn is the same team that had trouble beating MSU and the same team that lost LSU. If you watch the game, you would know we played terrible in the first half and outplayed in the second half. Jake Holland will not be starting. Chris Frost will. Last year, we had Chiswick as our head coach, and our team had given up at that point in the season. We probably are 49 points. We probably are not 49 points better. But last year, if we had Gus, we would have not lost by 49. It won't be a blowout. It is a coin flip game. I thought he asked. I could have swore I saw a question from him asking what my thoughts are on Gene Chizik as a head coach. I could have swore I saw that. But okay, I'll answer that. Maybe it was one that was removed. But I think Gus Malzahn is a good head coach. I mean, I think he actually said he didn't think I was going to say that because I don't like Auburn. But yeah, he's a good head coach. I mean, obviously he's brought initial success to Auburn. Like I said, when he was hired, I said I believe he's the best short-term fix, but I'm not sure if that's the best long-term. But I still think he's a heck of a coach. He has Auburn rolling in the right direction. I already explained about the same team thing. I mean, yes, they're the same team, but they've gotten better. So that's what I meant by when I said same team. They're the same people. They had the potential to do what they did against Mississippi State and LSU, but they have gotten better, obviously. But that chance is still there. Daniel Perry says, who do you think will win between Oklahoma and Baylor? I think it'll be close. I want Baylor to win so bad, and I think they will. But then there's that little part of me that says Oklahoma's going to win because they're Oklahoma. But because teams I want to win never win. But I really do think Baylor could win. It's Thursday night. Baylor's playing for a national championship, and this is one of the biggest games, if not the biggest game of their season. So I really think they can beat Oklahoma. They have the offense to do so. They have the offense to put up points against anybody, and the defense is playing pretty well too. So I think Baylor could win, but Oklahoma's just really good. So it'll be close either way. I mean, Oklahoma could come out and win too, but I would say Baylor. All right, last question. Thank God. MGS one fan 1234 says, "What do you think with what do you think with Mark Helfrich doing a fake punt in Oregon territory on 4th and 14 during the UCLA game?" That's just what they do. He that's kind of why I just find it so odd with Oregon, and why I don't dislike Oregon. It's just I just feel kind of weird about them. But that's just why it's so weird of Oregon, because they take these chances that no other team would take. But they're most of the time successful with it. But if they prove not to be successful with things like that, it can really hurt them. So they always do these high risk, high risk, high reward plays that really can be the difference in a game or two, which is sometimes the difference in between winning and losing, which sometimes proves to be their only loss of the season. So they could be really big plays. Also, with Stanford's big game against Oregon, who do you think will come out in top final score? I want to say Stanford, I really do, but you just really can't pick against Oregon right now. I just don't think so. But it's on Thursday night. Anything can happen on a Thursday night. But as unimpressive as I believe Oregon has been, yes, I said unimpressive, as they have been in the first 3 quarters against teams without running up the score in the 4th quarter. But I mean, that's nothing against Oregon. They score a ton of points. As unimpressive as I think they've been compared to the rest of the country's perspective, I still think they're gonna beat Stanford. And Stanford's a good team, but Oregon's just too much. And if I had to can't talk. If I had to predict a final score, I'd say something along the lines of 40 to 42, 42 to 35, 42 to 32, something like that. Just about a 10 point game. But that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. It was kind of a long video, but it's your fault. You asked a lot of questions. Have a great day, guys. Please leave a question in the comment section below so you can be featured in next week's episode. Have a great day. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/S3RTR. Leave a like if you haven't. And until next time, have a great week. Peace. I just accidentally flipped off again.